So, alright, let's get ready.
Let's do a bit of an intro first, eh? So,
Stencil. So I think this year has been the year of the stencils because quite a few manufacturers from Vallejo to Bittydesign have released these kits with different stencils.
yeah, and we've also got the blank stencil sheets from Greenstuff World if you want to make your own.
Absolutely. So looks like there is a demand for it, and you know, Vallejo designs them mostly for plastic kits.
Yes.
But Bittydesign does them for RC cars, and surprisingly both had come up with similar solutions.
That's
So
right.
how do they work?
How do they work? So, they're a very thin film. It's like a vinyl type of film. They're quite flexible. So you can see that it's in the plastic bag, and you can see the movement there. So the idea there is so you can actually bend it into particular curves and get the contours. And then they've probably been plotter cut.
Yeah.
And they're very, very crisp. So the idea is you can get all your paint to come out really consistent. So I guess we'll pick one of these.
Yes.
And we'll do a bit of a sample spray.
Absolutely. So I'll park these at the back here.
What do you think? What should we get? What do you
I
reckon?
think this one.
You like this one?
That would be perfect on the side of a plane.
Okay.
So let's have a look.
Alright, let's put these over here. Let me just do a bit of a set up. Alright, so let's crack this open.
Let's put these away so we don't get it too
Wait,
dirty.
you could have left it there. I would have given it a bit of weathering.
We could do a weathering, yeah, we could do some stencil in the car, can we? Then we do
Stencil
a
on
limited
the
edition.
car. Alright, so let's do that.
Okay, so what do we need? We need this.
Yep. Alright, so I need a bit of protection.
Protection here.
Alright, so there's the stencil as I pulled it out.
So let's pop the top camera maybe, so you can actually have a look. Looks like.
So we'll just move that aside. So there's a stencil as you can see it. So obviously you can see the background now. So that's where all the paint is going to go through. And we're going to use this, a few slides there, as a sample spray. And then we'll just lay that on top and spray it across, and we'll give you an idea of what it looks like. So let me do a quick mix up of some paint. Alright, so I'm going to need this. It's very important. Alright, so we need our airbrush. Set that up here. Mix up some of this. The brush.
Okay, so Killen is suggesting the car could be a Mustang, Ford Mustang 1965 and 1966. Not really. The year is probably close, but the rest not quite.
Yeah, it's quite different, isn't it?
Definitely different car. Yes, yes. Let's bring it up here again. So you can still see it till we get ready. Not a Mustang. Was it similar to what we had last week?
Is it?
Yeah, maybe.
Is it? I don't know.
I don't remember what we had, but it was part of the similar range, I think. So you can probably rewatch the one from last week. Let me get some hints. So meanwhile, BJ is preparing a bit of paint.
Yep, I'm just thinning down a bit of black paint, so it'll be a bit easier to see.
Actually.
I've got a question for you guys in the meantime.
Yeah,
These stencils, are they vinyl cuts and they're reusable?
they're reusable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna do this on a plastic kit, but we do the same on RC bodies.
Yes.
And so what you do, and this is quite nice because the Bittydesign one are really flexible, so you can actually get them to, you know, go around curves and everything. So you pop them here, and then you spray, and you can obtain some really interesting patterns and even let's say you want to do only 2-color kind of body, you could actually put a stencil and just give some light spray with airbrush, and that will give you a bit of depth, and then you can paint it all, say, you know, green, and then you add this extra, you know, kind of detail without having to do much masking or whatsoever. So, if you don't want to do a single color, you don't, you know, as keen as airbrushing and doing shadowing and all that, something like that can be really helpful to, you know,
for sure.
put some patterns on the bonnet or in different areas without.
Very easy to use.
Definitely, yeah.
And you can be really creative with these too, because you can see that's a quite an orderly pattern.
Yes.
You could even just spin it around and change the location a little bit, and then do a different tone.
That's right.
And you have a totally different effect as well.
Absolutely. So.
Alright, so I've got my paint mixed up. Airbrush is already charged up, so let's just do a little bit of a test here and make sure it's all spraying right. There you go. It's all coming out, so we've got the black. Alright, so I'm going to pop that just across this here. Now let's see, hang on. Let's see if I can give you an idea of curving this.
Shall I hold it for you?
I don't know if you need to hold that. You can hold my hand.
I can hold your hand?
Yep, give me a bit of
your support?
Yep, bit of emotional support. How about that? That's probably not the way I like. Oh, how about that? That'll do. Alright, so I'm just going to try and curve this so it gives a sharper edge from where it is. You might notice that it sticks up a little bit. If you want that totally flat here, you could always use a little bit of blue tack or something to help it stick down, or even some very low tack double-sided tape in certain areas, and they'll keep it down flat. Even sometimes if you use spray adhesive, spray a bit of spray adhesive on the actual stencil and press it down.
It should stick for a little bit.
That's it. Alright, so let's give it a go. Alright. Alright, so I'm just going to do some light passes. You don't want to do spraying too thick. Thin coats is always the way to do it.
I think
it's pretty light.
Yeah.
Probably enough to see, maybe. Alright, let's see what it looks like. Hope I haven't done it too lightly. Okay.
That's looking good.
Alright, so let's see how easy that was. It's got this really shadowy look now.
Yeah.
And in a way, so the same idea, you can get some really fine ones as well. If you get really small, irregular type patterns, they're really good for aircraft or tanks.
Yes.
Because you use it and you get a mottled effect, so it looks really worn. So this is basically the same sort of idea. So what we can do is we can lay it over the top again. We'll do this the other way around. Oh, that's still wet. Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
No, I've wrecked it now. But you get the idea. If I spun it the other way around and sprayed it on, then it would have given you this other effect.
So what will happen at this point is probably we can clean that one.
Yes.
So we can reuse it while the paint is still wet.
Yes.
And so then they are mostly reusable, as you can see. And that should be good to go again in a little bit.
Yep.
Got a question for Beej in the meantime.
Yeah.
He's asking, I've never used an airbrush before, but always wanted to. Does it have overspray or spray splatter like a spray can does?
Spatter. So they can spatter. So one of the things, I think I'll go through on one of the tutorials on YouTube.
Yeah.
But what you notice that before you use them, just say now, the nozzle has already been charged. There's probably going to be a little bit of paint just sitting there.
Okay.
If we press to go now, it'll spit. So we always do like this. Oh, that was pretty clear actually. If I do this, and then if we decide to work immediately and we spray like that, it's making me into a liar. It's not spitting, but usually it will spit. So the idea is when you're spraying, you always want to start from one side and then go across the model, because the whole idea is if you got any spitting, it happens here first, and then you've got a smooth flow, and then it goes all the way across, and then when you stop, there might be a little bit of splatter at the end.
At the end.
Yeah. And always before we start, we always like to just press down on the air, just to clear the nozzle before you even start. Like so. And that's basically the same motion you use for a spray can as well. Yeah. So similar sort of things can happen. Your greatest advantages of the airbrush is going to be you can thin the paint the way you like it. So thinner paint is going to give you a smoother finish, but it'll take more coats. And it also allows you to mix up whatever paint you like.
Flexibility on colours.
Yes. Yeah. And also the blending of different colours as well.
Right.
Yeah. So they're not really that hard to use.
No, we've done quite a few tutorials recently. So there's the color theory, which is quite nice.
Yes.
And that explains how to mix colors. So with your basic few colors, you can come up with virtually any color. So that would be quite nice to watch. And we've done a couple of tutorials on airbrush in general.
Yes.
So jump on the YouTube channel and you can see them all there. Really, they're definitely helpful. We've been talking about the spattering and then cleaning and all that kind of situations. The pressure always is very important when you're airbrushing.
Yes.
If the paint doesn't come up, don't increase the pressure, because that produces the opposite effect. Effectively, it's going to dry the paint inside, which then implies having to pull everything apart and clean it, and sometimes end up damaging your airbrush. Actually,
that's right. Yeah. So a few little things to look out for, but all in all, it's not that difficult.
Yeah. So suggesting that's what it kind of does, but often sometimes it still gets a bit of spat in the middle of his spray run.
Oh, okay, it's through the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's through a can.
Through a can, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So with cans, that can be an issue because you've got a plastic nozzle that isn't always that precise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's always a bit of a drop stay in the nozzle, and as you spray, that happens.
Yeah. But with an airbrush, because you can thin it down more, if you add more thinner, it will flow better.
Yeah.
You just got to be careful that you don't overflood your model. Yeah. Yeah, you should get one.
Definitely. So.
Yeah.
And here are the stencils, really.
Yeah.
So as you can see on this one, let's pop again here.
Yeah. Just ignore the mess that I made, but you can get the idea.
Can see around here.
Yes.
It's actually quite gives a very good effect.
Mm.
You can do different colors.
Yes.
And give a lot more depth, really, to your model.
Mm.
So on camera, it looks like almost better than in real
yeah,
life.
there's a bit more contrast, isn't it?
A bit more contrast, yeah.
Yeah.
So very good.
Mm.
All right, so
We had another guest in the meantime on the car.
I briefly saw a couple of guesses coming up.
Yeah. So
Brett
Yes.
Brett Wilson has said, is it a 69 Plymouth?
And he's not. But I think we're getting closer. Let's bring it front here again, as you can see here.
It's got a Plymouth look, hasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. There we go.
Alright, just using a bit of thinner to get off that residual bits.
Bit of colour, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Tony, I think Tony got it.
Has he?
Yeah, it suggests it's a Chrysler Valiant,
Yeah.
which is correct.
Yeah.
So, we need, what do we need? The year.
Yeah, and model type.
Model type, yes. So, very good, Tony. Dodge, Charger, no, we're not on a Dodge. I think Tony has it. So,
Valiant, eh?
yeah, it's a Valiant, so keep guessing. These gold wheels will give it away, I think.
The gold wheels.
Yeah, gold wheels are the winner. Alright, let's clean this up.
Alright.
So
That was good fun, wasn't it?
so that's ready to go again. So these stencils are really convenient because once you clean them up, they're good to go again.
Yep. Just wipe that off with some thinner.
Definitely. So these are from Bittydesign, and we use them on body shells, but they can be used for virtually any kind of application, really.
Hmm.
So you can use them on, if you want to do some weathering on some even railway wagons, some graffiti and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
can
for
do
sure.
virtually anything.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit like the Vallejo one had a
Yes.
it's got allied stencils.
That's it.
Okay, so the idea here is instead of using the decals, you use these because
spray.
the real ones were sprayed on and they had really rough edges.
Definitely.
And this way you don't have to worry about decals can look like decals because you get the edges that you can see silvering and such. So they're good for that too.
Their Vallejo range is huge.
It's massive.
I don't know how many, it could be 50 different ones, and they've got anything from small droplets and lines and kind of markings,
Yes.
writings,
Yeah.
danger sign and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So very, very nice actually.
So you can't see all the markings here, but this is for the US aircraft. So 1 to 72, 1 to 48, and 1 to 32 scale. So it covers all those different scales.
Wow.
So just one set. I mean, if you do a lot of American aircraft, that would be very handy.
Very convenient, and you can use it forever. So
Yes.
very good.